Hey there, it's Mr. Alexander again, and today I'm going to talk to you about the introduction to logic and truth tables, which is IB subtopics 3.1, 3.2, and 3.3. Let's start with some logical symbols here, and two of them in this problem are the AND symbol, which is a symbol right here, and the NOT symbol right there. So in part A, if I was going to convert this symbolic notation into words, I would say Jorge speaks Portuguese and Mei-Ling speaks Malay. So I took the P statement and combined it with the Q statement with the AND symbol there. In part C here, what I see is P and that's a NOT symbol right there. So not Q. So what that reads is Jorge speaks Portuguese and Mei-Ling doesn't speak Malay. Now, if you have something like this, where you've got a NOT on the outside of some parentheses, the way you want to start that is, it is not the case that Jorge speaks Portuguese. And Mei-Ling speaks Malay. So that's just how you take a symbolic notation and turn it into words. Now we went over various symbols. For instance, this is OR, which is the inclusive OR. This is the exclusive OR, which means one or the other, but not both. So this OR means one or the other and both. This one means one or the other, but not both. So, in part A, if I was going to express in words P or Q, I would say X is less than or equal to 36. In part 2, it's almost identical. X is less than or equal to 36, but not both. And of course, this is the exact way we read this statement right here. X is less than or equal to 36. So that's equivalent to part A, part 1. Let's go from words to symbolic notation then. P, the water is cold. Q, the water is boiling. R, the water is warm. Express them in terms of P, Q, and R. Either the water is cold or the water is warm. So I'm seeing that word or, which means the water is cold is P, the or symbol is this V, the water is warm is R. P or R. Either the water is cold or the water is warm, but not both. Almost identical, but that's the exclusive or. Either the water is boiling or the water is warm. Water is boiling is Q. Or water is warm is R. Either the water is boiling or the water is warm, but the water is not cold. So the water is boiling, Q. The water is warm, or are, but, and in this context the but is the and, the water is not cold. See, the word either here implies that there's a set of parentheses around these two things. All right, we haven't talked about truth tables yet, so I want to skip around to that. Do a couple of truth tables here. In part B here, we've got a truth table. It's got all the possible outcomes of P and Q. To get not Q, you simply take the Q column and switch it. So since it starts with true, it becomes a false. False becomes a true, true becomes a false, false becomes a true. So I'm doing P or not Q. I'm looking at these two columns here. Or means one or the other or both. So as long as I see at least one true, I'm going to put a true here. In this column, there's a T in the P column. Here it's both. Here it's neither, so it's false. Here it's in the not Q column. In the not P or not Q is just this column flipped. Let's do one more truth table, and we'll call it a day. So P and Q are I take swimming lessons and I can swim 50 meters respectively. Not Q then is F, T, F, T, just the complement of the Q column. P or not Q means that there could be at least one true. So true, true, false, because they're both false. True, because there's a T right there. Write the following compound proposition in symbolic form. I cannot swim 50 meters. That is not Q. And it's this symbol right here. I take swimming lessons, which is P. Not Q and P. That's all I've got to show you. Next time we'll talk about more complex truth tables. But that's all for now, so thank you for watching.